Why is there a sphere there? Why does it look like the devs actually made their title screen like this? This isn't like UEVR doing something to the title screen. The only difference with the normal game is there's a camera sitting fixed here. It's like the devs made a box here. I don't know why, and it's like this guy's on like a separate layer, or it's like really close to me, but the UI is in front of him, so it's really weird. But it's not bad weird, it's kind of trippy in here. Okay, I have some explaining to do, so let's get right into this game here. I have a save slot that has 6 minutes of gameplay. That was in fact a test. Never mind that. Let's go into a new game. This is wildly good. I see an issue already, and I'm gonna have to change a setting, but I'll wait before I do it because I do want to give you instructions on how to get this working for yourselves. So if you're watching the video in 3D now, you'll notice that the right eye is brighter, much brighter than the left eye. I will resolve that in a moment, but I just want to let this begin. And I want to talk to y'all for a moment before we get started. Welcome to Stereo 3D Plays, and this completely unexpected video of Stray in virtual reality. Not just in a theater virtual reality. No. Full out, 360 degrees virtual reality. And yes, again, we're going to be playing a game seated, as you can see today. I will be using the mouse and keyboard to play Stray in VR. For those of you who are familiar with this channel, you know that I'm fine with seated VR. I actually enjoy it a whole lot. Still to this day, despite all these very realistic, immersive titles that we have, seated VR still has a special place in my heart. I think it's more of a casual form of VR where you just sit calmly and enjoy your game and play it with just a different type of visual. You get immersed by the geometry of the game world you're in. It's still very, very compelling. So just like last time with Borderlands 3, the first thing you want is obviously the game. So you can get Stray off any gaming store you want. I think it's going to work the same whether you have it installed separately or through Steam or whatever. It doesn't matter, just make sure you have the game. And once you have the game, you can go ahead and download the free tool called UEVR. UEVR is a free Unreal Engine virtual reality injector that you can use for almost any game that runs on Unreal Engine 4 and 5. So you're going to download a copy of that and extract that into a folder of its own. And if you want to launch it, you launch the file UEVR Injector.exe. Now, I will, just like I showed with Borderlands, recommend that you enable running that program as administrator. So you're going to right-click on that exe before you launch it. You're going to go to Properties, and then in the Windows Properties dialog, you're going to go to the Compatibility tab. You're going to go all the way down there and check the box for Run this program as administrator. And with that, you'll take away many issues you can run into. And additionally, you're going to take away the warning that keeps telling you you should be running the program in administrator mode in the first place. Once you have your UEVR injector running in administrator mode set to the mode you want, like in my case, OpenXR, and you have your VR runtimes running, like in my case, virtual desktop, got my headset on, it's time to launch the game. So you go ahead and you launch Stray, and as Stray launches, quickly tab over to UEVR Injector and open the process drop-down. You should see Stray in there right away. This is not like Borderlands 3 where you have to rush your way into that drop-down and constantly spam it to get it as early as possible. You can take your time, just go and find Stray, check it, and hit inject. And then the game will be running in virtual reality. There's only a couple of things to change for this game to work correctly. It's very, very simple, actually. All you gotta do is when you get into the game, You shouldn't be using your motion controls unless you want to use those as a gamepad. You will be able to use mouse and keyboard or gamepad. So this is entirely your choice. But me being a mouse and keyboard right now, all I do is I hit my insert key, and this brings up the UEVR in-game menu. By the way, I have to give a round of applause. I actually kept saying this while I was testing. I fucking love this menu. This is a complete turnaround from the one in Resident Evil because it's just so easy to use. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to show advanced options here on the top left. I'm going to check that because that's going to become important. And then I'm going to go to console/CVARs. It takes a moment to load this, but right now I'm so happy to be here because I'm going to go to r.lightculling.quality and I will lower that to 0. And there we go. The fucking lighting issue is completely gone. I will now have a nice clear view of the game without having my right eye blown out every 20 seconds. Next, I want to go to camera. And this is really simple. Under decoupled pitch, make sure to expand this if it's collapsed. Under decoupled pitch, check enabled. And then uncheck auto adjust UI because that might actually get really geometrically confusing. And there you go. You are now ready to play Stray in perfect third-person virtual reality with no discomfort whatsoever. This is a lot like when I demonstrated Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 2 Remake being played in VR. With the decoupled camera pitch, your third-person camera orbit becomes like you're driving a little drone around your character. The onus of looking down or up is on you, not on the camera, so it's not forced on you to do it. All you're doing is changing your altitude and your position, and it is super, super comfortable. So dumb. Look at this. Fucking cats. So dumb, yet so cute. This is some pretty good animations, I gotta tell them. I must say, like, I'm trying to hold off on, you know, derailing topics in the middle of the instructions, but it's hard to focus when you're introduced to visuals this damn good. This is really impressive. This is very a la Vorpex. The game believes that what you can see is in the black square here. It is not aware that I'm using a VR headset and turning my head. So you'll see a lot of this happening. Even though the game only thinks I'm looking forward, everything around me is there and rendering correctly. There's no culling going on. Wow. Hello everyone, future me here, coming in from the editing room. I'm recording this note because as you'll see early on in this video, the Steam VR Display VR feature, the thing I happened to use to record gameplay when using Virtual Desktop, was violently shitting itself all over the floor. No, seriously, I think it hit as low as 10 frames per second. Initially, I thought I would have to re-record this B-roll with lower resolution settings or through Oculus AirLink instead, but it turns out that the moment I enter the city, the display VR window was doing a lot better. So heads up, some sections of this video will have some questionable frame rates, and as usual, this was only the display VR window shitting itself. I didn't actually notice this in the headset. However, I will admit that I should know better, and you're about to see why. Ironically, the part where Steam VR's display VR window shit itself the most is while I covered the game performance and what you can do to improve it. You're about to see that segment now, and while the frame rate will go full schizo, I'm leaving that part in so you can actually see the things I demonstrated, since they were pretty important. Just a big heads up and apologies for the absolutely schizo frame rate. Once we get past the performance analysis portion, I'll skip ahead to the later sections where this becomes a lot less of an issue. In general, things should look a lot better once they go through my stabilization and interpolation. Next time I run this game, I'll make sure to adjust the resolution a bit so the display VR view runs smoothly. It seems I can still run the game at a resolution higher than my headset and reach a point where it's not killing display VR and my recording of it. Okay, so let's go back to past me showing you how this game performs through UEVR. This looks fucking incredible, and you would think that with these beautiful looks, this beautiful lighting, that shit, this must be demanding in terms of performance. And guess what? You would be spot on. So I'm currently running at 90 hertz, and my frame rate, looking in this direction, is 70. And if I look behind, 73. And if I look at the walls where it's going to be less demanding, it starts going up a little higher. I'm getting a nice 80 here, nice quote unquote. My reprojection ratio is not high because I don't have any form of space warp on. What's happening is the time warp is actually handling any delay for the frames to render. And in addition to that, a synchronous space warp will kick in when the game starts reaching half rate. So this is actually very comfortable. It's just not reaching the 90 hertz setting that I have right now. And earlier I actually launched this with 120 hertz, and most times it was actually locking at half rate and using reprojection to compensate. So this is not optimal, and I'll show you something shocking. I'm using an RTX 4080 here, and despite that, I actually have to compromise. So I lowered effects quality to medium, and I actually noticed a significant gain in frame rate. However, I played with all the other options, mesh quality, texture quality, and shadow quality, and it was kind of disappointing how they really didn't have much of an effect. Mesh quality should be a game changer. It should be one that really has a big impact. And look at this, I don't even see a difference. So there's not really any point in lowering any of the settings other than effects. And effects won't do anything on low. It'll only give you a boost in frame rate if you go from high to medium, but that's it. All the other settings, I can go on high, medium, or low. It doesn't make a difference. If I reduce resolution scale to, for example, 70%, and I quit out, I will notice a gain. Now suddenly, in some directions, I'm hitting 90 hertz. I'm hitting the required frame rate. And this doesn't look half bad, because if you look at my resolution here, my resolution is 2688 by 2784. It's a very high resolution. So reducing that to 70% is still producing a resolution that's higher than my headsets. And I do get a bit of frame rate back. This is one of these rare cases where I find that the resolution scale option that's built into the game actually has a good effect. It's actually very efficient, I find. I've messed around with it to see if it would help the game, and it really does. The problem I hate is now games really rely on resolution scale to address performance issues, which is kind of a crime. Now let's take a look at something that might actually be of more use to this. Under runtime, so let's put back the advanced option. It doesn't matter. Under VR, in runtime, you have open XR options. If this is collapsed, make sure to expand it. I assume this is going to be called open VR options when you're running through open VR, but you have a resolution scale slider here. Word of warning, be careful. Earlier, I actually clicked here, right around here, and it immediately raised it to 1.5, and because of the way I have my resolution set up, that value was so high that my PC stopped functioning. So be very careful of the slider. I wish it had arrow buttons so that you can do fine adjustments, which is the reason why I ended up accidentally clicking on the damn slider. But I will show you this. If you lower this to 0.7, which is kind of theoretically the equivalent of lowering that other slider in the settings, you will also see a performance gain. The problem here is that now it's like really low res. This is a real 70% resolution. It actually does not look... If you ask me, you're just better off lowering your virtual desktop quality, because otherwise it's just not going to look good. But this is actually a big difference here in terms of performance. What I would say is if you're experiencing performance issues, the first thing you want to do is put effects on medium, It will give you a boost. And the second thing you want to do is either use the game's own resolution scale option or the slider over here to adjust the game to a way where it looks good. Like right now on 0.8, it actually looks pretty good, and it has given me a little bit of a performance boost. And just find what works for you between all those options without obviously mutilating your visuals. So I'm going to go back to 1.0 here, and I'm going to show you why. Oh, wow, I got lucky there. So earlier I was trying to readjust to 1.0, and I could not for the life of me lock on to that value. And this is why I wish there were arrows on these sliders so we could do fine adjustments without... Yeah, because earlier what I did is I clicked on it hoping it would reset it to default, and that's not what it did. So it's pretty bad, but yeah. My friend Eincrou from Eincrou Productions Co. actually did a playthrough of this game in virtual reality using, fucking hell, man, I forget the name of the tool right now. I'm not going to stop to look it up. I'm probably going to put it on the screen, but he is using Unreal Stereo. It's a stereo injector, and he's able to actually use the theater to project it in his headset. So he's playing, if you remember when I said the black square is where the game thinks I can actually see, that rectangle is what he was able to see while he was playing the game. He didn't have the ability to do what I'm doing right now and just look all around him. But he did do an early VR Let's Play of this game, and that's... it is his video that led me to buy this game and want to play it for myself one day. So that's what I'm doing finally, except because of the advances with UEVR Injector, I can now play it in full VR, which is absolutely incredible. And I looked up on forums. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do this right away, but when I saw how simple it was to get going, not only did it make me want to try this... Oh yeah, they're all fucking coming for me. Not only did it make me want to try this game because it looks visually stunning, but in addition to that, I was like, you know what, I need some stick time with UEVR. Maybe not all in the same game. I need to see other things. And in addition to that, it looks like this title is a very, very good seeded adaptation. If you want to know why the game's not running that well, by the way, it's the same as I described with Borderlands 3. We're dealing with an injector here, not a mod that basically runs within the game like the Resident Evil one. This is a separate piece of software that's running from the outside, and that's forcibly enabling VR in this game. And so it's less efficient. It just doesn't run as well as a native VR mod. And that's unfortunate, but at the same time, the cool thing about an injector is it's a lot more versatile. It's not locked to one game, and it can actually work for multiple titles. Now, you may be noticing that I'm watching a cutscene here, and it is a 2D video playing on a theater screen, and I really wished it had been rendered with the game engine, honestly. Whoa! Holy chromatic aberration, Batman. Holy fuck. I hope that's not always there. Oh no, it's... Oh no, okay, it's gone. Gone. Oh no, it's not. It's still there. Chromatic aberration. No, go away. It's so fucky. Okay. Oh, we're like... Okay, we're gonna be okay in a bit, but I think... Oh... I'm trying to meow. Can I sprint? Oh, he's gonna start tweaking in a bit. Oh, are you okay? Oh, that's my answer. Poor little guy. What's going on now? What's going on now? What am I seeing? What am I tweaking again? Hey, the game is running at its best right now, and the scenes are looking really great. That's always welcome. There is an anti-aliasing filter in this game that I wish I could turn off, by the way. I may look into this into future parts, but for now I'm very satisfied with what I'm getting. It's a good first part. I wanted to also demonstrate in this video that I'd have very little work to do to get the game working correctly. Even though the performance is not hot, if you're running on a 4070, for example, you'll have to lower the resolution scale. You ain't got no way around it. Either that or just run through Oculus Air Link or Oculus Link at 100% resolution. You'll get better results. If you're using the Valve Index, you're running at a lower resolution even, so that might actually work for you, but don't expect the best of performance. As I said, I'm on a RTX 4080, which has been overkill for almost everything so far, except UEVR, and probably Vorpex as well, by the way. I'm not absolving Vorpex here, they're all injectors. They all do things similarly. Okay, I don't think I have to cat any of this. I just go around, and then obviously, whoa, oh my god, never thought it would look this good. Oh my god, that's the town I'm going in. Holy shit. Oh, the black bars are gone. Oh, that's cool. Holy shit, I have goosebumps, man. I keep getting goosebumps since I bought the fucking Quest 3. I can't do a session without getting goosebumps. This is freaky, man. What the fuck? Like, I'm not gonna go and say something crazy like, oh, this is the best VR graphics I've ever seen. But in its own respect, this is another one of the most interesting styles I've seen. I haven't even fucking walked into the city yet. This is amazing. This is amazing. Look at this shit. The cloth and the AC units. The clothing is too small for a human being everywhere. These people are either tiny or... And this cat, by the way, is correctly scaled. I could swear this... Hang on. Let's go take a look at the cat up close. I think I can do it like this. Yeah, like this. That's a small cat, but it's not too small. It looks like a juvenile cat. Not a kitten, just a little bit past the age of a kitten, like, say, like... Oh, it's so cute. Oh my god. Oh my god. Hi. How you doing? How you doing? Oh, you're so cute. we have a kitten with a fucking FPS VR window. I keep forgetting I'm a cat. Wow. Bro, this is some fucked up degrees of good graphics, man. I mean, in a certain respect, I can also understand how it doesn't perform that well based on the visuals. These are some really excellent fucking visuals. I've seen streamers play this, I've seen Eincrou play this, and I still didn't expect such a visual impact. What a beauty. What a fucking beauty this is so far. What is that? There is something on top of those fucking air conditioning units. Obviously, we don't want to go there. Oh, the frame rate was tanking right there. I don't know if it's the contents in the window or the fact that it just jumped. Yeah, it might be it. It might be just some... oh, I think I know what it is. When the video started down there on the screen, it actually killed performance for a moment. Okay. So they're putting blockers... Oh, this is interesting now. My camera direction is locked. Oh, cool. I got it. Nice. Oh, you absolutely want to go back down through this. At this point, I think I should... There we go. Just wake my controller, move that out of the way. It'll come back. Well, I think we'll be fine. Oh, fucking wow. This is just completely amazing. Oh no, no, no. Stop doing that. They're beautiful carpet. No, stop doing that. Stop trashing the person's place. Oh, this is so cool. This is so cool. Yeah, this game's a really good surprise right now. I'm impressed. I'm very impressed. This was not what I expected, visually speaking. Well above my expectations. So I think he just has to jump into this bucket. And he gets lowered. That's very cute. That's very cute. Meow to you too. Here. Meow to you too. So I know that these things aren't gonna attack me until later on. And that's my fear about this game. It is hard to tell when you're not the one playing. But I don't think I'm gonna like those enemies. I'm gonna like everything about this game except those enemies. You know what they make me think of? They make me think of the ticks in Singularity. And I'm not gonna cite the ticks as the reason why I stopped playing Singularity, but they were one of the reasons in the build-up that led me to not enjoy Singularity anymore. And it was unfortunate. I think this is where I'm gonna get fully equipped and everything. Whoa! Oh. Wait, turn him back on? No? Maybe they can tell you what not to do around here? Not to end up like them? So I like this. The designs look very cluttered and very realistic in terms of an urban setting. However, you always kind of see where you're supposed to go next very, very easily. Whoop. Unless I got that wrong. There we go. Just gotta sometimes gently aim at it for him to see it. This is absolutely breathtaking. What great visual quality. What absolutely great visual quality. It's been running really well since I entered this city environment. Oh my god! What the fucking fuck? Holy fucking shit, game. I said I wasn't gonna get introduced to these motherfuckers. I think I'm gonna have to run from them now. Oh shit! Hitting the fucking Windows key. Shit. This is crazy. This is fucking crazy. I feel like I can actually anticipate corners. These guys are fucking annoying as hell though. I do not like them. I really do not like them. But this is very, very playable. Yeah! Wow! It was actually fun! The only problem, and I'm gonna look to remap the controls on this, the Alt key, I've never really had mapping issues when I'm playing mouse and keyboard in VR, but the Alt key is a bit of a tricky one. I wish it was C so I could use my finger, my index finger. I don't know, I'll look at that because I can use my thumb like to do that while I'm controlling the direction. So it wasn't so bad, but I kept losing my footing on the Alt key because it's not a key I commonly am used to hitting, especially when you're holding down Shift as well to run. These are going to be questions I'm going to ask when I try a game with UEVR Injector. The first being, would I buy this game to play it with this thing in VR? In the case of Stray right now, I kind of did exactly that. And it turns out that I don't regret my purchase. So, if you asked me, yeah, I would buy Stray just to play it in VR using this tool. Mouse and keyboard VR is super comfortable. I could do this for like 6 fucking hours straight. It's just so cozy. I'm sitting on my chair. I don't have to move around or stand. I mean, you forget time when you're in a setting like this. playing VR that looks this good and runs this fucking smooth. Yes, performance hasn't been great, but I have not noticed any struggles in the headset other than one or two sections where it really, when it loaded the video earlier, I mentioned it because I was like, oh, fuck. But aside from that, it's been smooth fucking sailing. This is so impressive. Actually, I see exactly what he's going to have to do here. Very good level design too, very intuitive, very fun, very cute, great art style. Already some of the best VR visuals I've seen to date. I will thank you for having watched this video, this B-roll of Stray in virtual reality all the way through. And I will be seeing you soon. I got a lot of shit to do. All the stuff I said I wanted to do at the end of the previous video, I still want to do it. And so that's why we're not done here. We're definitely not done. I'm probably going to be making another video this week. I don't know yet what I'm getting into because every time I tell you what I'm getting into, I divert and I do something else, like this time. So, folks, again, thanks for watching all the way through. I shall see you soon.